Welcome to another stage analysis video. It's Sunday the 8th of June 2025. Got to get through as always. Going to start off with the weekend's watchlist stocks. A lot of stage 2 breakouts this week in the market. It's like exceptionally high amount, so actually had to limit the watchlist somewhat. Just kept it down to about 20 names or so. So mostly starting off in the tech area. So let's start off with Shop. So Shopify, again, new stage 2 attempt after a failed attempt to push lower into stage 4, which quickly resolved back above its 200-day moving average again and started to consolidate over the last few weeks or so. If we look at the ATR levels here with the Keltner channels, you can see started to consolidate above that 21-day moving average and the +1 ATR level over the last few weeks. So Friday's move here, started to see it move back above the recent close from the end of May here. So popping out through a potential entry point through that level there and starting to move through its stage 2 level as well. If we come onto the website, stage 2 level began 110.75, so let's go back into here, 110.75. So just coming through this level through here, I think it was what we are, 110. So where's the close? 16th. 110.75. So actually this was your precise stage 2 level, but as I said, this lower pivot through here is a potential entry point as well for this. So it's right on the borderline at the moment, attempting to move into early stage 2. So one of the things liked about Shopify for a long time is its continuing growth and the strength it has in its position in the marketplace. If we go through to the trading view financials page, where you can see the earnings, you can get quarterly and annual earnings. I always find these interesting to have a look at for when you're looking for growth types of stocks. So if you look at last year's reported EPS for this, it reported 1.22, but by 2028 expected to go up to 2.65. So more than double there in the EPS. Same with the revenue, 8.83 billion last year, and expected to move to 19.43 billion. So again, more than double, 2.2 something in by 2028 in the next 3-4 years here. So coming back to the chart with this, we look back at some of the historical chart for this. If we zoom out, come back across here, you can see since its IPO back in 2019, here's the IPO week close. And a really strong initial IPO advance, came back in, obviously the 2020 brief bear market with the COVID crash and reversal. So moving back out into stage 2 again, we've got a few consolidation structures as it continued to move higher through here. So as you can see, it was a bit of a grind for that last part of the stage 2 run, but again more than doubled through that last part there as it moved up the initial momentum move, and then it was more of a grind, pulling back into its 30 and 40 week moving averages before eventually rolling over, moving off down into stage 4. Did have a very deep and sharp stage 4 decline before starting to grind its way back out again through the part of 2022 into early 2023 there. So like lots of the market, started to move back out into stage 2 in 2023. A few failed breaks into stage 4, back into 2, dropping off into 4 again briefly, and then coming back into 2 once more through this area here. So as you can see at the moment, just a very, very early attempt to move back out into stage 2. So we'll zoom in on this, see a little bit more closely on the weekly chart. So very slight close above the stage 2 level currently. So looking for this to grind its way back up towards the potential highs, at which point I'll likely see some kind of test, see whether it can actually push further into stage 2. But with the expected growth and revenue growth over the next 3 to 4 years or so, then obviously on a longer term basis, this one is an interesting one. So just as I said, breaking out in the near term here, be looking for follow through move on the daily, start to see this grinding its way higher, maybe a little bit of more of VCP as it goes up, sort of base on base type patterns. So that's what we'll be looking for with Shop. Approaching its stage 2 level currently. So if we come on to the weekly chart of ARM briefly, so you can see the broader structure that's been developing with ARM over the course of the last year or so. Had a big Wyckoff spring at that level there from the major tests, at a big shakeout, significant bar, so testing that on a more macro level. So just sitting underneath the current stage 2 level within this broader structure. Obviously started to break down into stage 4 through this area. So recovering back into stage 1 here. So right on the borderline. If we do see a push through this area, move into stage 2. So on here, you can see on the daily chart, that would start to push it through the green, this stage 2 line here. We want to see that start to grind its way back up and out. But obviously semiconductors, big semiconductor theme at the moment, been one of the strongest areas off of the lows since the April lows. So definitely with Nvidia moving out into stage 2 this week as well, and we're starting to see multiple other semiconductors improving, starting to move out into stage 2 as well. But the larger caps moving out first. I'm one of the biggest names in the group, so looking for this to follow through and start to push back up into potential stage 2. Another one to look at this week is AFRM. So again, stage 2 attempt on this one. So AFRM, as you can see, right on the borderline. So 54.48 was its level. So coming through here, 54.48. So roughly through this area here, started to move out into stage 2 this week. So looking for this to follow through, start to grind its way higher, potentially get a test up towards the upper range here. Again, inverse head and shoulders. We've had lots of double bottom type patterns that have followed through, and some of those, the slower ones, have then ground out a right shoulder. The stronger initial moves went straight up and have been grinding their way higher back towards new highs again. But the secondary moves now starting to come out as the market moves into stage 2. AFRM is one of those secondary moves where those double bottoms have turned into inverse head and shoulders type patterns, and we've had lots of obviously cup and handle type patterns as well, especially with some of the stronger names that were already up at the highs and then have started to develop some kind of structures. So with this, looking for a potential move which would again turn this into a potential cup type pattern, and then maybe a handle and a push through. If we look at this on the weekly chart here, you can see just moving into stage 2. So stage 4 level is down here around the 36 level at the moment. We got 35.75 currently, so big drop off to get down to there currently, but that will start to work its way off over time. So if this can follow through, as I said, getting back up towards the highs through here, be looking for some kind of move like that.